The other protocol we have for our VPN is an authentication protocol. So there's tunnel protocol, then the authentication protocol. Now, this is pretty easy to understand because a lot of these would never be a valid option for a VPN. Yet we must cover them anyway because they do show up when you configure your VPN client. The first is Password Authentication Protocol, PAP. What we can say about PAP, it is the wrong answer. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do with your VPN, PAP is never an option you would choose because it uses a plain text password. Now this says typically used if remote access client and remote access server cannot negotiate a more secure form of validation. No. Now this is off the Microsoft site. This statement would have been valid in the 1980s, late 1980s, 1990s. No chance we would use this today. This is the least secure authentication protocol that actually exists within Windows. There is no thing you would ever configure, and the least secure protocol would be the one you would actually choose today. No chance that's going to happen. That always brings up the question, then okay, why is it even an option if we can flatly say, no, you would not use it? Answer, it can do other things. One use for PAP and CHAP here, we'll talk about in a moment. If you have a storage area network in your environment, which is called a SAN, just a bunch of devices you connect to your network and you store massive amounts of data in these locations. And they get connected, usually through a network, up to a Windows server. So the SAN is directly on your network. Your server is directly on your network. So ultimately, you have what mounts to a map drive. So let's say the F drive on my server here. That actually connects through and to the SAN. And let's say you have, 10 petabytes of storage here. Just massive amounts of storage capacity. I may want this connection to be encrypted. And I want it to be protected. I could use PAP for authentication. That is plain text. But since these are on the same network, I could encrypt this connection using IPsec or some other protocol. So I would simply encrypt the connection myself, and I would use PAP to authenticate. The one useful thing about PAP, I dare say, is it is vendor neutral. So it does not matter who made your SAN appliance. It likely will support PAP as an authentication method, but the assumption is you are just manually encrypting the connection yourself. You would only use this within the same network for some scenario like this. So when I say wrong answer, I mean for a VPN client. Never would you use this for an actual VPN client connecting over the internet. The other one that is the wrong answer for a VPN client is Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. Now this is also vendor neutral, so that they have in common. It's a slight improvement over PAP, and that the password is not sent. It uses a hash of the password, but it still requires a plain text version of the password, not secure by any standard. You would only use that for something like the SAN we described here, and most will support PAP and CHAP as an option, but you would manually encrypt the connection yourself. So for a VPN, neither would we ever use. The other way to know you would not use CHAP is because there is Microsoft CHAP. I mean, if you have the choice to use CHAP and you have the choice to use CHAP with the word Microsoft slapped in front of it, it is clear which one would be best. Microsoft, if there was any doubt. So there's MS CHAP and there's MS CHAP version 2. Now, we don't talk about MS CHAP, we'll say version 1, because everything it could do gets rolled into version 2, and every operating system that supported would support MS CHAP version 2. But the MS CHAP v2, an upgrade over Microsoft CHAP, it uses two-way authentication, and it is fully encrypted. So you have full authentication, and those authentication credentials are encrypted between the client and the server itself. So this is the standard right now for a Microsoft VPN client. I'm MS Chat version 2. If you only want username and password, if that's all you require, that's the perfect protocol. Many environments need more than that. They want multi-factor authentication. Some people call it two-factor authentication, but multi is more common, or MFA. Meaning, when you connect to your VPN client, you may have access to very sensitive data inside our environment. So when you connect, I want you to type in your username and password. But in addition to that, I require something else for you to authenticate. Something you have to have on your person. Now, a common thing for this is a smart card. A smart card, you can think of that almost like a credit card. Sometimes it's the size of a credit card. It's a physical device that you have to insert into your computer. Sometimes you may have some form of RSA, like a key fob. This thing has a number on it. And anytime you authenticate, you have to type in your name and password. Then you have to look at this device that you like physically have on your keychain or something, and you have to enter a number on this device. Increasingly, you could use some type of app. Microsoft has an authenticator app you can use. So you put this app on your mobile device, and anytime you try to connect, you type in your username and password, and then it'll send a message to your app, and you have to approve the message on your app before you can connect. So if somebody were to figure out your credentials, they would not be able to authenticate and access anything with just the credentials. They would have to be in possession of that other form of authentication. Now, this is all under this family we call EAP, or EAP, Extensible Authentication Protocol. Now, to know about this, what you should know, this is always a form of authentication that is not a username and password. It's going to be a card. It's going to be an app. Ultimately, whatever it is, it's a certificate. That certificate goes on your card. That certificate goes in your application, is associated with your application. But it's never a username and password. So those two can be combined. I could simply use MS Chat v2 plus EAP. Now we have multi-factor authentication. You have to have the app, smart card, what have you, and you have to know the credentials for the user, so it's extremely secure.